All right, welcome back. It's time for us to go over to the central region now in the Ewutu Senya district. Correspondent Calvesteta is bringing us a report about some water challenges in the community there. Let's take a look.
Members of this community say they have been falling ill as a result of drinking from this stream, but they are left with no option as the Ewutu Senya District Assembly's pipe-borne water extension project is yet to reach the Ewutu Loye community. To worsen their situation, the two boreholes that residents relied on have broken down, a situation they described as very disturbing. Currently, residents, mostly women, have to trek a journey of 4 miles to J River to fetch water. As a result, most of the women say they have developed chronic back pains. Here are some of them speaking to Citi News. Members of this community say they have been falling ill as a result of drinking from this stream, but they are left with no option as the Ewutu Senya District Assembly's pipe-borne water extension project is yet to reach the Ewutu Loye community. To worsen their situation, the two boreholes that residents relied on have broken down, a situation they described as very disturbing. Currently, residents, mostly women, have to trek a journey of 4 miles to J River to fetch water. As a result, most of the women say they have developed chronic back pains. Here are some of them speaking to Citi News.
Asala nsuo ni hɔ nti tumi kɔ bentum ne kɛmwɔ ne yakwese nsuo na nsana yɛ de aba yɛ brɛ wɔ kwan so wa yɛ di ho ya wankasa so mmɛbɔ an wɔ nsuo no
ɛno ane yɛ num ɛno aso na yɛdi dwale ɛno ane yɛdi nu aduane yɛ bibia yɛnyɛ bidie but nsuo no bi ne ante yɛ ne saa yɛ sa ne saa yɛ noa na yɛ asɔne so ansana yɛ anom on se fi akɔje Ivan nye kwan kitwa tu be so nsu efi ho no ma ba ha no te se wa ye mre wa bre na mu nyina ya wo ya aha se ye to aba wa ha ye bibia wa ha nti ye ya se nsu eni ha no ansu wo ya ne ye no ye ya.
Nana James Abote is the chief of Loye. He fears the Hamatan would cause the stream to dry up and intensify the plight of residents.
Nsu ne ye Loye ni din ne da ko no so nde yenso bia ebo ayi papa ye nom ye ne bibia de dware ji se bibiara na mo how ka so de be so do pebre na nso na awe e je de fi obotan mo na eba nto peba da ma na nso na awe e wi na afi de ye wa honya hiem nkwa nso no so ye sawa je de odi kosi ja so wunua na yesu be don hwe okor e dwudwa ne ya so nso ansa na mankoda no ombuna no penye obonu bi kura wa nom so won pe dama de wo kola bi camp no koto pipe ni bi wo bibi wo de ma no ja bogum na munum no kaka akra nzu no oboaye na mo enche so na awe.
He is therefore appealing to the government and benevolent entities to come to their aid in the community.
Boho no ye we bie na nakwedu ajama no be ye maaye yon the rolling style nje baba no onya hodin se siara na Honorable Madam Gisela, our pair being Yunanam Yensan Kramai. Sila Fidia, Papina say cry, says a union soon be known. I say, number 1 year pipe, to a great when Yako. Able do, I would you hint ya. I got 3.5 kilometers near Loye. One catch the way you won in the second phase. Loye Yanya Papi Nibi, Bentum San Yebi, says I am to come. Or Pebby, a boko so dear river, and Sana Yan soon be a yanum. While branch a pipe, 3.5 kilometers and war, and Abin Loye, Papi Yanyebi. Until there be a begins to come yet to abandon. Almost to borehole ni be my. So I ready to almost repair that down my. Now or Pebby, yes, only union soon a year no. If you have got Jellyban 4.5 kilometers, near questions to bucket tobacco a day, and soon be a riot.
All right, so residents of Loye, in a very distressful situation, dealing with water that in the dry season basically dries up, and then in the rainy season or not so dry season, it's filthy. It's not something that human beings should be drinking, but it's what they have, so they don't have much of a choice when it comes to it. Koki, I'm not sure how you feel about watching what we just saw.
I feel like deja vu, except in this instance, the boreholes have dried up. So they said they have 2 boreholes that normally give them some potable water, but again, they've dried up or they're broken. They need to get those repaired. That would help a bit. As for this river that they're using as an alternate water source, it's just heartbreaking, honestly. And there was one gentleman there talking about what they have to do with the water before they can drink it. They boil it, wait for about an hour, sieve it, then they drink it. But even then, you ask yourself, still, even after boiling it and doing all of that, is that really safe to drink? You can imagine what's in there. And
to a large extent, you would say that the public health practice for dealing with water is to boil it. Right? You boil it for 10-15 minutes, then you allow it to sit and settle. And then the top.
Then you sieve
bit,
it. You remove
sieve
the
it,
sediment.
And then, but you can't boil away things
Everything.
like arsenic. You can't boil away lead. So those things don't get out of the water. So if you happen to have contamination
only goodness
in
knows
these waters,
what's in there,
you have a problem. You can't boil away those things. Arsenic, lead, those heavy metals, you cannot boil them away. You can kill bacteria, you can, kill all forms of living life forms in the water. You can kill those with boiling, and especially if you do extensive boiling. But at the end of the day, there are chemicals and things that you can't get rid of. So, I think that the Assembly really needs to do better by fixing the boreholes that they actually currently have, and letting, at least, if you can't even provide pipe-borne water to their homes, at least where the borehole is, let the borehole function.
The boreholes working.
Get it to function, and then open up more boreholes, within the
help.
area, so that people are not having to fetch water from river bodies and things
This
like
ain't
that.
it. Yeah. This is not it.
No, it's not.
All.
It's not. Not in 2023, honestly.
You can see
we need to do better.
The boreholes there that are no longer functioning. And people said, women are saying they're getting sick. They trek long journeys to get the water. One lady said that the children get upset when they're asked to go and fetch water because understandably they've got to go this long journey to find some water, bring it back, just so they have a bit of clean water to drink or to use for whatever else they need to use it for. It's really not fair, honestly. And Wutu Senya district is not that far from Greater Accra. It's like we're
it's 10 minutes from Kaswa.
It's nowhere far
it's 10 minutes from Kaswa.
that remote.
It's not far away at all. It's not far. It's a stone's throw from Accra, really.
It's very disheartening.
It's unfortunate that we have all of this going on there.
We've had 2 stories back to back on this borehole water issue.
Yesterday we were talking about the
and
situation in Gunyase. Gunyase.
And then today we're in the central region.
Yeah. And I think that for me the important thing is showing how national this challenge of water is, And of course, as we decimate our water bodies with galamsey and everything else, it's only going to get worse.
Yeah.
It's only going to get worse, So we really need to do better. Especially, for me, my call is on the assemblies. You should have a certain pride in making sure your people within your district are well catered for, But I think that we also have this very laissez-faire attitude towards citizens, because again, a lot of citizens will not rise up and agitate aggressively at the assembly. They'll be like, we've spoken to them and they're not really minding us. It's almost like throw your hands in the air. We are at the mercy of whatever the assembly decides. If they say this is good for you, then take it like that.
I had this conversation with Godfred Akutuwa for the other day.
Yeah,
he said, we're like the easiest people to rule because we don't. We may talk a bit, but we're very compliant.
Yeah.
We don't cause
we're extremely
trouble
compliant.
necessarily.
We're
we deal with a
compliant.
lot. We're so resilient. We don't really rise. We're some of the easiest people to. All we need is something small or basic to make life a bit easier.
Yeah.
And that we don't get. And people still every day they go and fetch water from a stream like this.
Yeah.
They may complain, all right, but they say, they're not bringing us water. This is what we can do. So if you just do something basic, like provide a clean source of water.
if you want to see how docile we are as a people and compliant we are as a people, just do a comparison with people like those that sparked the Arab Spring. Somebody set themselves ablaze.
Yes.
Yeah, as a means of protest. It's like they set themselves on fire. As a means of protest. Ghanaians won't do that. Nobody will do that in Ghana. So don't take that for granted, that we are so easy to rule. Don't take that for granted. When you are put in a position of authority, responsibility, leadership, do your job. Just do your job.
This should be on the priority list of any assembly.
Yeah, exactly. Every assembly should take pride in the fact that all within the borders of this district assembly, our people don't have issues with drinking water. It should be the pride of the assembly, But there are many people who are in those assemblies who they are living okay, and there are people who are struggling and they really don't care, And it's these ones that we are exposing today and saying, the Ewutu Senya District Assembly, do right by your people.